Hey, you, press pause, put the controller down. It's time to talk about the gaming industry. My name is TJ Leo. This is Bailstorm, and this is episode 2 of Press Pause, a gaming podcast. Hello, my friend. How are you?
Doing good.
Doing good? Have a good week?
Yeah, a lot happened, but doing good.
Doing good. Any gaming?
um, I did. I'm still playing Hades 2,
Okay.
but I did pick up the Slay the Princess game, which is an interesting, fun story.
That rings a bell. What's that one about?
Slaying the princess.
Oh, shocker.
You have to slay the princess.
Is it a roguelite or like what kind of game is it?
Kind of. It's
Yeah.
kind of a love story, kind of a, you know, saving the world from the princess.
Gotcha.
It's interesting, like psychological horror type.
Oh, okay. I will check it out. Is it on Steam? Nice.
Yeah. Mhm. Yep.
I will take a look at it. I'm still playing Valhalla, although it's starting to wane my interest at this point.
Oh yeah,
It's the main complaint about that game is that it's too large,
yeah.
and it is. It's so huge. It's ridiculous. The original game came with, well, you played Origins or no, you said you either played Origins or Odyssey, one of the two.
It was Odyssey.
Odyssey, the Greek one,
Yeah.
and you remember the size of that map, right? So Valhalla has that map as England, but then it also has a smaller map as Norway, a smaller
Right.
map as Asgard,
hmm
and then a smaller map as Vinland, which is Newfoundland, Canada.
I already feel like it's a lot when I play Baldur's Gate 3. So
Oh yeah. That alone is the base game.
yeah,
Okay, so that's 4 maps, and then they've added 6 more in DLC.
yeah. Jeez.
It's a lot, and there's not enough gameplay changes for me to extend it that long. I love the game, so like I love the gameplay and I love the story and the characters and all that kind of stuff, but it's getting a little long in the tooth at this point.
Yeah.
However, I did want to talk about I've been playing Helldivers 2 with my buddy. We played a lot of it today. We've just reached level 17. Great game. I do think there's a lot of room for improvement though.
Yeah.
It's really fun, but there's just some balance issues in that game. Did you play
Mhm.
the original Helldivers, or have you played Helldivers 2?
I have not.
Do you know what it's about?
Not really.
So it's a multiplayer online third person and first person, I guess technically, but not really. It's more of a third person shooter. But it's a co-op shooter where either you can go alone or up to 4 people together, and you basically get shot down onto an alien planet and have a bunch of randomized objectives to complete. And it's really hard, and there's friendly fire. So it ends up being just chaos
Yeah.
and hilarity, and you level up and you gain more weapons and you gain more things to call down from the sky from your ship,
So one
like
of those
turrets.
fun games where every once in a while you can just start fucking with each other.
Exactly. Yeah. Although I will say that this is probably one of the only games I've ever played where I have not met a griefer yet.
Yeah.
Not a single one yet. The Helldivers 2 community is super, super positive, and like you could drop in anyone's game and they're like, "Hey, welcome aboard," they'll help, and like they're very
Nice.
community. It's really interesting
That is really
how that
nice.
happened. There's no PvP. It's a strictly PvE experience, but it's great. But yeah, there's definitely some balance issues. Like him and I have worked our way up where we can do. So there's I think there's 12 difficulty settings, and they each ramp up pretty high. Like there's some spikes. Like it's like, holy crap, can't do that yet. Let's back down to level 3 or whatever, right? But sometimes we're on level 4, and sometimes the difficulty just ramps up where we just have like an endless amount of enemies to deal with, and it just overwhelms us, and we're like, what the heck happened?
Yeah.
I don't know whether we're doing something wrong or if there's just some balancing issues. I feel like it's balancing issues because it seems random to us. But it's a lot of fun. We keep playing it. We played for like 8 hours today. Um, and yeah, it's good times. I wish we had 4 people to play with instead of just 2 because it makes it easier.
Yeah.
but 2 is also cool because you have to be more strategic about what you do.
Right.
But yeah, it's fun. Cool. All right, so that's what we're playing. Topic of the week this week is the Summer Games Fest, which we briefly alluded to last week on last week's show about the state of the gaming industry. But today we're going to go through sort of our highlights and noteworthy things from the show, and kind of give our perspective on it. And we're also going to rate them on our hype meter. So if you haven't checked out our intro video, which may or may not be up yet, sorry. If it's not, basically we rate our hype on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 being couldn't care any less. 2 being something seems off about it, but maybe there could be hope. 3 being could go one way or the other. 4 looking very promising, and 5 being I don't need to see anymore. Take my money. So that's kind of how we'll rate the games that we discuss on today's show. Starting with PlayStation had a state of play. And the first game they showed was their kind of big tentpole game this year, which is Concord. The game from I'm gonna botch this. Which studio it's from? I have it listed somewhere. Firewalk. I thought it was fire. I didn't know whether it was Fire Sprite or Firewalk. They have 2 studios with fire in the title. Bad idea. Um, Firewalk. Yeah, this was their first game, and it is a 5v5 Overwatch like hero shooter.
Yeah.
It has not impressed the general public. It had the debut video of it has a lot of dislikes. I don't think so. So here's my thing. PlayStation cancels games all the time that don't work, right? Happens all the time. They just canceled The Last of Us Online from Naughty Dog. So they know when they have a dud and they're willing to cut their losses, right? So I'm willing to give Concord the benefit of the doubt because of that. That being said, the game was not shown off well. It just wasn't. The trailer was very so they had 2 trailers for those that didn't watch it. They had a cinematic trailer and then they had a gameplay reveal. The cinematic trailer was very Guardians of the Galaxy-esque.
Yeah.
It was fine, you know. And then the gameplay, it was fine.
Just fine. Yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about it. It just felt very it felt too Overwatch still. It didn't branch away enough. So it was
Yeah.
just it's like it's Overwatch and then there's a little bit of Guardian of the Galaxy in there to make it kind of different, but it's still too samey. I don't know.
Yeah, and there was only 2 things that differentiated it for me. Number 1 was the fact that they're going to do those vignettes every week. They're promising to do a new vignette, a character story vignette every week,
Right.
which
Yeah,
is pretty crazy.
that's a lot, honestly.
Do
I
people care about that in their 5v5 shooter? I don't know.
yeah.
I'm not the crowd. You know,
Yeah.
I play casually Overwatch, but I don't.
I have a
I'm not.
buddy that got into Overwatch a lot and he does enjoy the story reveal
Mhm.
trailers and all that, but I don't know.
How important it is.
Yeah, to have a week by week more to discover.
Yeah, could be cool. Could be a waste of time and money. Who
Yeah.
knows? And the second thing that differentiated it was they talked about how there is permanent throwable items. I guess basically is the best way of putting it in the world. So you can throw down like a health pad, and it will be there for the rest of the match.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
you can throw down like a wall that would not normally not be there to block a hallway, and that changes the map.
Right.
But those kinds of things are pretty cool. How that if that's enough to differentiate it from Overwatch, I'm not sure. However, I will say that as far as hero shooters go right now, Overwatch is not really doing well.
Yeah.
So I don't think it would take a whole lot to take people away from that. Unless there's another hero shooter that I'm just not aware of that's doing really well. Like I know of Paladins. I'm not sure if you've heard of that one. Um, is there another one that's going on right now? Oh,
I'm not
Marvel
really aware.
Rivals, but that's mobile.
Yeah, yeah.
It is coming to consoles, but it's basically a mobile game. So I don't know.
Eh,
My hype scale for Concord is a 3. Could go one way or the other. Could end up being what Overwatch should have been from the beginning.
I'm
Or it,
pretty negative about this one. I give it a two.
okay, yeah,
Two.
something seems off.
I'm not. I don't think. Not sure.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Next up was the only other like standout from PlayStation State of Play, which was Astrobot. I am a huge fan of Astrobot's Playroom, which was the free PlayStation 5 game
Yeah,
that you can download right off the hop when you get your PlayStation 5. It's fantastic. Great music, runs great. It is very much Mario 64 esque in
yeah,
its feel and its design, which is a huge compliment. So the fact that Sony and PlayStation is giving that team an entire game instead of just this like bite-sized, you know,
yeah,
6 hours is probably generous, maybe 5 hour experience, and blossoming it into a 10 to 20 hour. That's pretty cool. And I didn't honestly, I got like halfway through the trailer and I was like, I'm good.
yeah.
I'm gonna play it. I don't need to know. I don't need to see anymore. They showed off like 4 of the 6 bosses in the trailer, and I'm like, why would you
Right.
do that? That's too much. I don't need to see that much of the game. Uh,
It seems like it can be very gimmicky, which is just fun for this kind of style. I think it
mhm,
really works, and it allows you to that they can just add more gimmicks and add more to it as they go.
mhm,
There's a
absolutely.
lot you can do with Astrobot. It's a good one, I think.
And they can draw upon all of their studio
Hmm.
IP for it, like they did with Playroom.
Yeah,
For those that don't know, they did an update to Astro's Playroom to hype up the release of the new game, and they've added new. There's like like a claw machine basically in the game where you can collect artifacts and special things.
nice.
And
That's
they've
fun.
added more to that, and then they've added a secret bot to find in each of the zones. There's 4 zones in the game, but they're doing it. They're releasing a new bot to find once every 30 days leading up to launch. I've already
Nice.
found the first one. I'm just waiting for them to release the second one so I can go hunting for it.
Yeah,
The first one was the guy from Bloodborne, I think, like the your character from Bloodborne, I think. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Excuse me. What else was there? Next was Thank Goodness You're Here. I don't have a whole lot to say about this one. Um,
Oh, we gotta rate the last one.
oh, sorry. Yes, you're right. Astrobot. I'm a 5. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm a four. It looks really good.
Yeah.
I'm
The
in.
key thing that I know about, because I've played Astro's Playroom, I know how it feels to play that game, and it feels exactly like Mario. So I know that
Yeah,
that studio knows exactly what they're doing. That game is going to feel great to play,
that's good
and it's
news.
going to take advantage of the PlayStation 5 controller, which is
Oh
a
yeah,
phenomenal controller. Yeah. Thank goodness you're here. Not a whole lot to say about it. It looked cute. It looked funny. It
yeah.
looked weird. Their last game was really strange. It was like pink something. I don't remember the specific name of it, but it was really weird. But it stood out to me as very unique, very very comedy esque.
This one definitely
Um,
looks unique.
yeah,
It'd probably be a good game. I'll probably get it and just like kill some hours. Relax, play
mhm.
something
Have a laugh.
cutesy. Yeah.
What's your hype meter for that one?
Mm, I mean, I'll say it's a four, just because I do like those cute comedy games. It's
Sure.
nice to wind down to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm a 3 on that one.
yeah,
Like it could be something I really like, or something I just can't get into. Um,
yeah.
did you play what was it called? High on Life?
No, I did hear that one though.
Yeah, that one was one of those ones. That's how I feel about this game, where I'm like, that could be really funny, or I'm just not going to get into it. And I did not get
Right.
into High on Life,
Yeah,
so we'll see if I get into this one.
that's fair.
Demon School was the next one. It had a really strange trailer. It was basically like a almost like a walkthrough of
It
of
was.
how the bosses
Yeah,
work. I
it
thought
did
they could
feel
have
like.
done a little better of a trailer than that.
Yeah,
for such a pristine spot that they got.
right. I did
Um,
like the mechanics they show.
yeah,
I feel like we do need more games that have more the strategic,
agreed.
like grid like gameplay, because that can be fun. And the way they set it up does look super challenging, which
Yeah,
is
the insta
fun.
kills.
Gotta pay attention to everything. You
Hmm.
mentioned a lot of insta kills.
Insta kills. Yeah, he's like, this will kill you. This will
Yeah,
kill you.
they will try to push you off the ledge.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. So maybe it's going to be like really challenging, like sort of
yeah,
the Dark Souls of grid based
right.
strategy.
Yeah.
Um, cool art style, cool
Mhm.
mood.
The
Yeah,
monster designs did look really cool too.
yeah.
The
That
skeleton thing.
skull skeleton that bursts open
Mhm.
and the brain pops out, and then the eyeball pops out of that. I was like, what? What
Yeah,
is this? It does look pretty cool.
yeah,
Hype meter for me on that one is a 3, just because it's an unknown developer for me.
yeah.
It could be end up being complete garbage for all I know, but it could also end up being really great. So yeah, kind of in the middle.
Right. I think I'm a five. I think I'm gonna
Yeah,
get this no matter what and try it myself. And
there you go.
yeah,
And if you do, report back to us. Let us know how
yeah.
it is. The next one was Wolfhound. Wolfhound is a game from the creators of Chasm, if I'm not mistaken. It's a side-scrolling sort of ode to Castlevania and Contra, from what I can
Yeah.
tell. Uh, love the music in that trailer. It got my nostalgia
Yeah.
going. Looks like a lot of fun. It's exactly what you if you pictured it, a Contra mixed with
Hmm.
Castlevania. That's what it looks like.
Pretty
The
much sums it up
military type
pretty
shooter.
good.
Looks really good.
Yeah.
I'm about a 4 on that one.
Yeah. I'll probably like watching people play this one more than I like
More
playing
than
the
playing
style
it.
game, but it looks really good.
Fair.
Yeah.
Hype
Hmm.
meter.
Hype
I
meter
guess
for
you don't.
me.
I guess you don't have a hype meter if you don't want to play it.
Yeah.
It's something you want to watch.
Yeah. Maybe like a three. If I watch it, someone play it, and it interests me enough after that, sometimes
Fair.
I'll yeah.
Absolutely. The next was Nobody Wants to Die. This one had a really cool reveal trailer. I think about 6 months ago at the Video Game Awards. I think. Sort of this noir detective, like futuristic kind of thing. Finally got some gameplay reveal, and that's exactly what it looks like. It looks like a detective mystery, figure out who done it, kind of
Hmm.
a vibe. I still don't know exactly what the gameplay is, and
Yeah.
that kind of bothers me a little bit. Um, they didn't show off enough of that, but it's first person. There's some time bending mechanics to kind of review aspects of what happened. I again, there's
Like I
not. I
can't
don't.
tell if it's gonna be like mostly stealth or what. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah. I
I don't
don't.
know.
It could be a walking simulator for all I know.
Right.
Yeah, like that's the only problem I have with it is I don't know what the
Yeah.
actual gameplay hook is, and it's
Right.
coming out really soon too. I think it comes out in August, something like that. I'm not gonna check, but it comes out soon, so it's a little
Yeah.
weird that they didn't have like a more fully realized gameplay reveal,
Hmm.
um, unless they did afterwards, and I just haven't seen it. But it looks cool. I love the idea.
Yeah.
We
The
need
idea
more
is
detective
really
games.
cool. Yeah.
My hype meter in that one's probably a 4.
Probably just a three.
Yeah,
I want to see more of it.
yeah, not enough concept.
Yeah.
I get that. Storm Forge was the next one. This is the one with the striking visual art style that looks like straight ripped from a graphic novel, comic book kind of
Yeah.
style, and it looks a little bit like Valheim, I think.
Hmm. I can see that.
Um, yeah, I'm all over this one. I'm a
Very
huge Valheim fan.
striking, bold colors. I
Mm,
the style's just very pretty to look at.
it's gorgeous.
You
Yeah,
really like it.
you know what?
Yeah.
It kind of actually. I was trying to pinpoint where I feel like I've seen it before, I think it's Banner Saga.
Hmm.
I think it looks like that if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I played those games, but yeah, it's just amazing art style. We'll
Yeah.
see if the actual gameplay ends up being any good, but it does seem like a Valheim type game, which is
Yeah.
okay with me.
Hmm.
Valheim's taken way too long to finish that game. So if something else wants to come along and be better than it,
Yeah,
it's gonna happen. I think mine's about a 4 on that one.
probably about the same, honestly.
Yeah,
Out of four.
yeah.
Look
I,
forward
I
to it.
I love my Valheim type games. I love building stuff
Yeah,
and exploring a world and all that good stuff. This next one was really strange. It was Canyons, which appears to be, from what I can tell, a multiplayer build a vehicle shooter thing, or like arena battler. Maybe there was people that had like just straight up cars, and then there was like straight up bases going. It's crazy. Just these
yeah,
giant. It was almost like a sand crawler from Star Wars. You know.
yeah. It's
Um,
very interesting.
yeah, I was super
I'm not
interested in it.
sure.
Yeah, very cool idea. Again, I don't know the specifics of the gameplay. I don't know if it's just like matches or if it's like a Valheim where you're building up a vehicle over time as you explore the world, or like I don't know. But the concept is cool. I'm a 3 on this one, just because I don't know enough. I need to know more.
Yeah, I think I'm a three. I don't know if I'd be able to commit to a game like this. It
Yeah,
seems like
yeah,
a lot like putting together. Like some people could get really into it, but I don't know if
absolutely,
it's for me.
absolutely. The next one is Once Human. We're gonna skip this one because it's actually out now, so we'll just kind of skip it. The next one is Power Rangers Rita's Rewind. I I grew up with the original Power Rangers, sadly.
Yeah,
Just dated myself there. Um,
amazing
and
visuals.
yeah, that man, it's Digital Eclipse who's doing it, and they are phenomenal at doing these like classic 2D
Hmm.
side scrolling or beat 'em ups and all that kind of stuff. They've
Hmm.
done tons of stuff like that before, and it looks great. It looks
Yeah,
fantastic. I think they did Shredder's Revenge. I could be wrong.
yeah, it does look very similar to that because that's what I thought when I first watched it. Was looks just like Shredder's Revenge.
So the developer of Shredder's Revenge is Tribute Games. So it's not the same guys, but definitely there's definitely
Yeah,
some mixed signals there. It looks really good,
yeah,
but definitely an ode to like Super Nintendo type graphics. Looks very cool. Yeah, I'm gonna be all over that one. I think I'm a 5 on that one.
I might be a five just because I like beat 'em ups. They're just fun.
Yeah,
You
fun,
don't really have
mindless,
to even have a history with the franchise. It looks like a really fun beat 'em up.
fun game, fun
uh,
gameplay, good music. Let's do it.
mm,
Let's go. Absolutely.
yup.
The next one is Lego Horizon Adventures, which is really weird. So this is a Lego game based on the Horizon Zero Dawn slash Forbidden West games on PlayStation, but it's also being released on Nintendo Switch, which is weird. That is officially the first PlayStation IP that is out on a Nintendo platform or any other
Because it's
platform.
Lego. It's just because it's Lego.
Yeah, I think so. It's very young people oriented, so I think they're like,
Yeah,
we could probably make a lot more if we put that on the Switch,
yeah.
which is great. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just shocked that it happened because Nintendo and Sony have not had a great relationship since
Right.
the downfall of the Nintendo PlayStation way back in the day. So very
Yeah.
interesting. Not my kind of game. I've always tried to get into the Lego games, and I liked the humor of the originals when they didn't speak,
Yeah.
when they were silent and just made like type
That's
noises.
what I remember from like I had the Star Wars Lego games. I played those all the time with my siblings, and those were fun.
Yep, I
Just
agree.
goofy noises.
Yep, just funny
Yeah.
comedy of taking a serious scene
Hmm.
and then making it funny.
Yep.
I loved that. I think it grew too big. Some of these
Yeah.
games, like I've tried a couple of them over time,
Now
and
the
I'm like,
Lego people aren't supposed to talk. You're supposed to assert
yeah,
your own assumptions onto them, and it makes it
agreed,
funnier.
agreed. I feel like I
Silent
read that.
comedy.
Yeah, I feel like I read that one of the newer Lego games, you had the option to turn off the voice acting,
Yeah,
which should be a staple of all the games in my opinion. But they're
honestly.
also, I just feel like they're too big. Like I
Hmm.
played Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga, I think it was called. It was like all the movies in one game,
Yeah,
and it had like 180 characters that you could unlock or something like
there's a
that. And
lot.
I was like, I don't. This is too much, man. This is too much for me. Um, but
Yeah,
anyway, Lego Horizon.
to me, it's just meant to be mostly a comedy game, so that's why
Mhm.
I want it to be no
Just a cute
voice
thing,
acting. Just get the pacing right. Get a few laughs. Yeah,
which they did confirm there is voice acting in this game. We've seen it in the
yeah,
gameplay.
hmm
Uh, I'm not gonna play it, so I can't really give a hype meter for this one. So I just
yeah.
it's not my type of game.
I might give it a three just because I do like the Lego games. I might dive in anyway. But
Fair,
yeah,
absolutely. I'm sure it'll do well. I mean,
yeah,
I hope it does well.
yeah.
Next one is Unknown Nine Awakening, I think is its subtitle. So this is the one with the character that can possess other people.
Yeah.
Um, don't really remember much about the story, honestly, but the concept of possessing other people in a third person type
Hmm.
game is super cool. I don't know if you remember Geist on the GameCube. It was a
No,
first
I didn't.
person.
I didn't really play GameCube.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, I didn't
Not
have
a lot of
one.
people did.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people played GameCube. Um, yeah, it was like this first person game where you played a ghost and you could possess objects to move around the environment and stuff like that. It was really cool.
That's pretty cool.
Kind of reminded me of that. Or like Ghost Trick. I don't know, is it called Ghost Trick? It's a DS game.
Hmm.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it's
Um,
just this game's for the mechanic of that. I think just
mhm,
seeing how that plays out because
for sure. And also,
concept.
yeah, I like the concept. The story seems okay.
Hmm.
Uh, Games like this always worry me a little bit though because I don't know if you remember, like for a very long time, we didn't just have AAA games and indie games. We had AAA games, and then we had what we considered AA games, which were these
Hmm.
games that were made by developers that weren't like your tip of the hat, top of the ladder type Naughty Dogs and everything. And they made
Right.
stuff like Darksiders, and
Hmm.
like games that were kind of in the middle,
Hmm.
where they weren't like super high budget, but they weren't low budget either. They were right in the middle. And this
Hmm.
game kind of screams that to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see that.
So it's for me, it's a three because I don't know. It could be
Yeah.
great. It could be bad. Banishers, which came out recently, it falls in that category as well for me, where I'm like, maybe,
Yeah.
maybe.
I think three's a fair. Three's fair. I like that. Yeah.
The next one was Wander Stop. This is the next game from the Stanley Parable guys or guy. I'm not sure how many people are on that team. Um, the whole trailer was very like nice and
Hmm.
you know calm and cool and kind of sad in its presentation, and then at the end, it kind of got a little bit of a twist there.
Yeah.
Um, and I liked that. That's when I got hooked. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
all right,
Same.
I want to see more. You
It's
know,
it kind of feels a little bit like psychological horror esque almost, or
yeah,
like
like there's definitely something there. I just don't know how much it plays into the game.
seems
Um,
like what I'm hoping is it'll explore some kind of darker themes and
you have to expect that with the Stanley Parable team.
yeah, exactly.
Like they do some mind screw stuff.
Hmm.
So I am a four on that, just because I'm interested in finding out what that twist is and what
Yeah,
there's something there. There's something there.
I think I'm a five on this one. I want
Nice.
it.
There you go.
I want some more Omori type horror.
There you go. For sure. The next one is Slitterhead, one of the worst game titles I've ever heard.
Yeah.
This is the one from the the original developer of Silent Hill, way back in the day. This one has been in development hell for like I don't know 10 years.
Wow.
It's been a long time. finally we see it, and it definitely looks a little old. Visuals are kind of PlayStation 2, 3-ish. They're not great. The idea of it is cool. You play this like little worm that takes over other people, and it's very horror inspired.
It almost it gives me like Junji Ito vibes.
Sure.
Like just it's just kind of a see cool horror monsters and encounter them, figure out how to defeat them.
Mm-hmm.
Like might be like coming up with different tricks that might work better with certain monsters or whatever.
And one of the things that I would say that a lot of these trailers are failing to do, which we've mentioned already, is what is the gameplay loop? Like
Yeah,
what are we doing in the game? Like we know the gimmick,
right. Yeah,
but we
yeah,
don't know the loop. What are we doing the majority of the time?
right.
And this kind of falls in that category where I'm like, we're not just jumping from person to person. What are we
Like
what
there's
like
got to
what
be
are we doing?
more. Yeah,
Yeah. So I have to say I'm probably a 2 on this one. Something
yeah.
just seemed just from the visuals alone. I'm like, something smells.
I'll give it a 3.
It
I'm
could
giving it
it
the
could
benefit of
sway
the
me back.
doubt. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not out of the woods on this one, but
yeah.
I don't have a lot of hope for it.
Right.
The next one is Pinball Spire,
Yeah.
which looks amazing. Pinball and me, we get along
Yeah.
great. I love pinball. Um, and it looks a lot like what was that game? Yo. There was another game that was like a pinball mania, like a pinball
Yeah.
Metroidvania game. I can't remember. It's like something Yo-Yo's Great Advent. I don't know.
What
Can't
this one
remember.
that made me think of was the old. I used to have the old DVD for Sonic and Knuckles. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
yeah.
it kind of reminded me of. Just the
Yeah,
follow the
the bell.
trail, collect
Yeah,
all the coins.
yeah. It looks
Yeah,
it looks great. I'm on board for this one.
it looks fun.
I I'm gonna temper my expectations a little bit. I was gonna say a 5, but I'm gonna say a 4, just
Yeah,
because you could easily screw this concept up.
yeah,
Easily, it could
for,
become real annoying real quick.
I
Um,
think that's about why it's a 4 for me. It's
yeah,
just,
yeah.
yeah,
There's that sliver of chance that
mm,
it's more
it
annoying
just
to play
doesn't
than it is
stick.
fun.
Yeah, but we'll see. I could see it being really addictive because I spent a lot of
Yes.
hours on Sonic and Knuckles.
Yep. I've played a lot of pinball video games in my time.
Yeah,
My favorite is Metroid Prime Pinball, which probably nobody played, but it was fantastic. It was
yeah,
amazing. Next was Shrine's Legacy. I don't have a whole lot to say about this. This kind of looks like an ode to like Secret of Mana, like the Mana series. Um, could be good. I'm not a huge Mana series fan, so that
I did
style of
like some of the use of the environment in the game with some of the abilities. He was like bouncing
crossing the river with like a
kind of
light
slashed
bridge.
across the colorful rocks or whatever, the mirrored rocks, and then yeah, the bridge thing. It looked like a fun story. Good RPG.
Yeah, could be good.
Good
Um,
puzzles.
yeah. Yeah. The Mana games are weird because they're kind of a cross between like an action RPG and like a Zelda game.
Yeah, exactly.
They're really weird. Um, I'm a 3.
Yeah,
I'm a 3 on this one.
I think I'm a 4. I really like the mana games. I like how it
There you go.
combines those RPG elements.
I think Visions of Mana comes out soon, if I
Yeah,
remember correctly. The next game in the series. Excited for that one.
yeah. Mana games are good.
The next one is I don't know how you say it, so I apologize if I get the pronunciation incorrect. But Cairn or Kern,
Karn,
Karn,
Karen,
Cairn.
Kern.
I think it has something to do with mountain climbing. It's like a
Hmm.
mountain climbing term. I think. Don't kill me if I'm wrong on that. But it is a mountain climbing game. It looks very similar to Jusant, which came out recently on Xbox and maybe other platforms. But I played it on Xbox Game Pass. I loved it. So I'm on board for this. I like the idea of having to control your limbs to kind of climb. I don't know if that's specifically the mechanic, but that was the mechanic in Jusant.
Hmm.
So yeah, I like the visual style. I like the
Yep.
idea of climbing an insurmountable, task, as it were. Looks cool.
I,
I like it.
I do like the visual style. It seems like a calming kind of game. You can just kind of play, wind down. I don't know if it's like my style, but I would say it's like a 3 for me.
Three.
I'd give it a shot.
Yeah. I'm a three as well, actually. Just because I think I need to see more.
Yeah,
I haven't seen enough to get really excited about it because Jusant was really good. I really love that game.
yeah,
Um, so we'll see where that one falls.
yeah.
Next up is Pedal Runner. This is the Game Boy Color. Uh, I don't even know how to say it. Game Boy Color. I don't even know. Like what? An ode to Game Boy Color games.
Yeah, it seems
Uh,
like another like Pokemon kind of copy, but
yeah.
it does different. It's not actually just a Pokemon copy like we've seen 100 times.
Yeah, it doesn't
It
seem like you're
seems,
battling anything. It seems
yeah,
like you're like a pet groomer
yeah,
delivery person. I think it might be a
hmm
cozy game, but I'm not 100%
yeah.
sure. Um, Looks
Slice
interesting.
of life style, like
Yeah, it
yeah,
stuck out to me just because of the visual style and the sound
hmm
effects of like playing a Game Boy Color
yeah.
game. Like the nostalgia hit
Very
me.
reminiscent to playing a Pokemon Red.
Yeah, it very much looks like a Pokemon game for sure. Um, I am a three on this one. I need to know more,
Yeah,
but interested.
probably about the same 3. Yeah.
Next up was Tenjutsu. Not a great name for a game, honestly. That's just blends into the background. But this is from Devolver Digital, and you cannot ignore Devolver Digital. The amount of great games that they have in their portfolio is insane. I don't know how they come up. They find developers all over the place that are just fantastic. So that I have high hopes for this one. This is like a 2D action adventure with like you take over districts of Japan or Tokyo or whatever city it is. Uh, I'm on board. It looks cool.
Yeah, it does look really cool. I
Love the
like the
visual style
visual.
and everything.
Yeah. No,
I would
I'm in
say,
on this one.
what was that?
I'm all in on this one.
Yeah, you're a five.
It looks good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a four. I need to see a little bit more, but I mean, my love for Devolver Digital is huge, so I have very little doubt that it won't turn out great. I don't have a whole lot to say about the next two. The next two were from the Bloomhouse Games sizzle reel. They showed off, I think, 6 or 7 games
It
that
was
are
a
in
lot
development. Yeah, it was a
combined
lot.
into one.
All horror related, which isn't shocking. They're the Five Nights at Freddy's studio. But the two that stuck out to me were Grave Seasons and The Simulation. Grave Seasons is kind of a Stardew Valley esque game, which there are millions of, yes. But there was a twist in it where it's like all about like a murder or like something horror esque is going on in
Yeah,
there,
like
and that kind
something's
of,
happening. You got to investigate, sort of.
yeah, that intrigues me
Mhm.
because I like Stardew Valley type games, but they
Mhm.
have to be unique enough to keep me playing.
Right.
Because there's a million of those games, let me tell you.
There's a lot.
Every time there's a Nintendo
farming
Direct, there's like
games.
6 more announced. It's
Farming
crazy.
games have taken over quite a bit,
Oh, yeah, they're all over the place.
and they're all kind of. A lot of them are kind of the same. It's just
Agreed.
romance one of the characters. You can marry them and move them into your house.
Yep, it's a running joke. It's a running joke on Nintendo Directs for me at this point. I'm like, how many farm games are they going to show this time?
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. Then the
Mm.
other one was The Simulation. It looked like a
Oh
detective
yeah, yeah.
video, but like mixed in with like you're in a VR video game. Like it's
Yeah, he's like
weird.
VR within the game.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
very creepy.
Hmm.
Like that a lot. Um,
Yeah.
I don't think I can give either of them a hype meter, honestly, because
Yeah. I don't
they're
think I
so,
can give any of it a hype meter. It's just so quick.
yeah. It was a
I'm not
sizzle
really
reel.
hooked on any of them. I'm just looks okay.
Yeah, I need to know more before I can really. I don't have any.
You're
I don't.
working
I
on
don't want to say
stuff.
I have. Yeah, I don't want to say I have no hype, but I want to know
Mhm.
more.
Yeah.
The sizzle reel was not enough to get me to get my blood pumping.
Yeah.
The next one, I have no idea again how to pronounce this.
Yeah, this one.
Scopcha 83. Scopcha 83. This was the what appears to be, and again, we are in this really annoying place where these trailers don't do enough to explain what the gameplay loop is, but it seems like a roguelite first person shooter with up to 4 people, where you have like a bus that you can act as like a base, and you're like scavenging this like nuclear wasteland. Very cool art style. Um, and it has my interest peaked.
Mhm.
Has my interest peaked. I'm a 3 on that one. I wanna know more.
Yeah. I'm I'm kind of a 2. I'm not quite hooked yet, but I'll see what other people think of it when it starts coming out.
Always
You
fair. You should always do
know.
that. Never
Yeah.
buy a game blind. Trust me.
Yep.
Done
Yep.
that too
Yep.
many times.
Yeah.
Regretted it. Next up, we have Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo.
Cursed yo-yo.
Quite the mouthful for of a name. But
Yeah.
this is a 2D game where you play a mouse with a yo-yo, solving puzzles and battling enemies, and
Mhm.
uh, looks really cool.
Mouse or cat? I don't know. It
I
looks
think
kind of
it's a mouse. I
slimy.
could be wrong.
I don't know.
It was like a blue eared. I'm pretty sure it's a mouse. Oh, that's gonna bother me now. Let's see.
Who
What is
knows?
Pipistrello? Let's see. Oh, a pipistrello is an actual thing.
Oh, is it?
It's in the the dictionary. It is a mouse-like animal which flies.
Oh,
It's an
interesting.
Italian word.
Huh.
Well, now we know a pipistrello.
You were closer. It's a
Apparently,
mouse.
yeah. I like these kind of classic-looking games.
Yeah.
It does have its own art style, though. It's definitely not like an ode to anything from that I can
Mhm.
tell. Uh, but it looks cool. I'm about a
It
4 on this
does.
one.
Yeah. Yeah, 4 fits. I think it looks really cool. I'll probably get this one, honestly. It's it's cute, charming. I like the colors, they pop.
Good art style. The art styles of a lot of these games are really doing well.
Yeah, they really are.
The next one we're going to skip because the game is out now in early access. Dragon is Dead. So maybe we'll have more on that another episode now that it's out. The next one is Deer and Boy. What a cute, adorable, likely sad story.
Probably sad.
Yes,
Probably
a
very
boy and
emotional
his deer.
experience.
It's a side-scrolling,
Mhm.
sort of inside limbo-like.
Yeah.
I mean, that trailer had me. I'm a 5 on this one. I love
Yeah.
those types of experiences. Give me a short 5 hour or less.
Yeah.
In and out. Tell me a story. Hook
Honestly,
me. Yeah, I'm
that's where
in.
I'm at. I love the quick, cool stories. Get you invested really quick. You can easily get behind it.
Oh, absolutely. I
Yeah.
messaged the developer as soon as I saw it, and I was like, "This looks awesome," and they liked
Yeah.
my tweet. So I was like,
Nice.
"Yes."
Hmm.
So yeah, all the props to the developer. That looks really good.
Yeah.
This next one is really weird. So this is Node, Node. I couldn't find anything on this game. I tried to look up
Yeah.
more after this game, but it's basically you control what looks like kind of like a Wally type robot, but you don't directly control him. You give him commands, like a command string, and then he goes and does it. So I guess like maybe you see the level beforehand, and then you have to work your way through it by giving the robot commands. Um, Seems interesting. I don't know how annoying that would be, like, because it has to be a trial and error type
Yeah.
thing, right? Where it's like,
Gotta be right.
yeah, I gotta add one more second to
Hmm.
this. Otherwise he's going to run into the wall or run into a
Is
laser.
it going to be detail oriented, or is it more like a visual novel esque where you select choices for him and then watch him?
Yeah, I don't know whether you just do it all at the beginning and then you just watch him do what you programmed him to do, or if it allows you to edit it midway through, or not sure.
Yeah.
But it piqued my interest.
Hmm.
Looks interesting.
It does.
I'm gonna say a 3 on that one.
I'm gonna say 4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gathering we have very similar tastes,
Yeah.
at least in the indie titles.
Yeah.
Next up was Caravan Sandwich. Terrible name, sorry. I don't know if it's based on an anime or something, but like Caravan Sandwich.
It does kind of
Sandwich.
sound like one of those like single book manga.
Like
Like,
order me a BLT,
yeah.
a Caravan Sandwich.
Caravan
Um,
said
I don't
another
understand.
one with a great art style though. I like
Oh,
how it looks.
yeah, that's what hooked me on it
Yeah.
immediately. Was gorgeous animation and art style.
Mm,
The gameplay looks fantastic too. Driving around in your van, exploring a world. It looks like there's crafting as well. Yeah, I'm a 4 on this one. This one looks really good.
I like the style of these colors. Just it's kind of like dull around, and there's just certain like yellows and
Yeah,
bright blues, reds to pop
vibrant.
things, and like very pretty.
Absolutely.
Very
All the props in the world to the artists of that game looks
yeah.
great.
Probably a 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Next one is Eric's Home. Oh wait, this is the one with the amazing visual face animation.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Faces are
There is
very
a yeah, phenomenal face animation. There is a scene in that trailer that looks real. If you showed it to someone who didn't know it was a video game and said, "Hey, take a look at this acting," I can guarantee you they wouldn't question that it was,
yeah.
that it wasn't real.
Like every
Crazy.
slight emotion on their face, I feel like you
Oh,
could see like
crazy.
really
I
good.
was, I was blown away. I'm like, how are these people doing this? So
Mm,
good.
yeah.
Um, Now, as to whether the game itself is good or not, I have no idea. I have no idea what the game is. It looks like a top-down exploration type game, maybe.
Yeah, like RPG style. It
Yeah, there was
feels
only a couple of scenes from the gameplay in there, so I don't know. But holy crap,
yeah.
those facial visuals,
Yeah.
insane. I wonder if they're Unreal 5,
Mm,
because I
yeah.
remember watching that demo for the Unreal 5 face technology, and it was insane. And that
Yeah.
I'm
That
wondering if
could
that's what
be
that is.
maybe.
Um, So I'm a 3 on this just because I might actually be 2. I'm probably gonna be a 2 on it just because I don't have any idea what the game is.
Yeah. I think I'm a 4. I like these RPG story oriented. So
Yeah, could be great.
I'm
I
in.
just need to know more.
Yeah.
The story sounds interesting. I
Mhm.
don't know from a gameplay perspective what I'm doing. So need to know more. The next one was Nico Derico. I have no idea if that's how you say it correctly. Nick Derico, Nico Derico, no clue. This is the ode to. There's a lot of odes in the Summer
Yeah.
Games Fest. Let me tell you, this is an ode to like a cross between Crash Bandicoot and I thought of another one that it looked like. Oh, Donkey Kong Country.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got those side scrolling levels. It's got the
Mm,
levels where you're going into and away from the
yeah.
screen, just like Crash Bandicoot.
Mm.
Um, this is one of those games.
Those Crash Bandicoot levels, I kind of had a hate love
Oh, me too.
relationship with. They got so annoying sometimes.
Absolutely, I agree.
So
It's like I can't see the holes until they're right in front of me. It's like I can't jump over that. Um, yeah, no, I agree. No, so every so often I see a mascot platformer that looks really great, and then it usually turns out to be crap.
yeah.
I don't know if you remember Ukulele. It was an ode to
Not
Banjo Kazooie.
yeah.
And then there was Super Lucky's Tale, which I actually kind of liked. But they never turned out as good as the classics. They never turned out
Yeah.
as good as the originals.
They're
And
trying too hard to mimic a lot of
yeah,
the time.
Yeah, I'm waiting for one to break through that barrier.
Keep an eye
Hopefully,
on
we'll
it.
see.
Maybe this does, but yeah,
Yeah, we'll see. I'm a three, just because
yeah,
we'll
three.
see. We'll
We'll
see.
see.
The next one was Echoes of Elysium. Remind me what this one was.
This one, the shipbuilder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I don't know what to say about this one.
like on an airship. Looks like you can make improvements to it. There's
Mhm.
kind of different styles. It looked like sometimes you disembark and you're fighting on the ground,
Right.
and
It
then
reminds me of Canyons, the game we were
yeah,
talking about earlier, where you're building the vehicles, except it's
yeah,
airships instead of like sand dune buggies.
yeah.
Um, I don't know. I need to know more again. I'm like, that's cool. It's the same.
Some of it seems cool, but I'm not sure. It's
Yeah, I need to know more. What did I give Canyons a three probably?
yeah,
So I'm gonna stick with a three on this one too because it's very similar.
yeah, yeah. I think I'll give it a three. Just it seems like you're gathering resources again in this game too. And gathering the resources in order to improve
Mhm.
certain aspects.
And how cool is flying the ship?
Right? Yeah.
Like because if that's
How
not cool,
how
then
good are those controls? Because
yeah.
if we can't actually fly the ship, that would
Oh,
be upsetting.
that game's dead on arrival if you can't fly the ship.
Yeah.
What's next? Doom: The Dark Ages. This one's freaking freaky.
Yeah.
I, I knew there was rumors for a long time that the next Doom was going to be a prequel, but I had no idea it was going to go back
Yeah.
to the Dark Ages. He's going to have a shield, and he's going to have like a ball and chain that he's whipping around. This game looks nuts. Um,
Yeah.
for context, I loved the Doom remake. Wasn't a huge fan of Doom Eternal for some reason. I don't
Mhm.
know whether it was just me at the time, just didn't vibe.
Yeah.
But this looks sick. This
Yeah.
looks so good. Um,
Gory slasher.
but the gun that they with the skull that gets put into the masher and then spits out
Yeah.
skull bits. I was like, what? That is the kind of creativity we love. And
Yes.
Doom
Absolutely.
looks really
No,
good.
this one looks cool.
Yeah, and now you can parry because you have a shield. Like, man, the
Mm,
amount of like string combos that you're going to be able to pull
yeah,
off in that game is insane.
that'd be fun.
Yeah, I'm a five on this one for sure. I can't wait.
Yeah, this one's probably a five. It's just
Crazy. And
I start thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, I need to play
yeah,
it.
and it's day one on Game Pass, so I will get it for free. For
Hell
free,
yeah.
you know,
Nice.
in quotes.
Yeah.
State of Decay 3 finally showed up. So for those that don't remember, State of Decay 3 was revealed at the Xbox Series X announcement showcase. I think. Um, yeah, like the Xbox Series X was showing off at the Video Game Awards, I think, along with Hellblade 2, and then afterwards they had like an actual showcase to showcase the console and future games. And State of
Yeah.
Decay was 3 was one of them. And that was 4 years ago, and
Yeah.
it's finally returned, and we got a kind of gameplay trailer, kind of.
Kind of.
Um, uh, yeah, I don't really know what to say about this series. It's very popular
It
in a
is.
very small community, like they're very vocal about it. I like State of Decay 1 and 2. My problem with it is that I don't want to switch characters, and it kind of forces you to. It's like, well, your character's tired now, so you got to switch to a different character. I'm like, I don't want to switch to another character.
Right.
I want to
Yeah.
be comfortable with who my character is.
Right.
So I'm hoping State of Decay 3 fixes that, and you can just be yourself. But based on the trailer, it doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
So also, I don't think there was a release date on it.
No?
Let me double check. That was a big problem with the Xbox conference, was that there was not a lot of release dates. Um,
Yeah, to
no,
me it's just zombie games that I like. They look cool. I never got into them super. It's
It has to
just
be unique enough for sure.
yeah,
Let me check. State of Decay 3. Mm. Well, it's not 2024. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it as a confirmed
yeah.
release date. Nothing. So yeah, it's crazy to me that it's been in development for at least 4 years, probably more than that, because oh wait, no, it says 2025.
Yeah.
So it says next year.
Okay.
Um, so okay, next year
Yeah.
we'll see. I need more. I'm like a 2 on this one.
2. Yeah, probably a 2.
Yeah. Dragon Age: The Veilguard got a huge reveal with a full-length cinematic or in-game engine trailer, and then a gameplay reveal that has been pretty polarizing. There's a lot of people that are like, it's too actiony, it's not strategy enough, like the original Dragon Age Origins, and and then there's a lot of people that are like, it looks like Fortnite in terms of its art style.
Yeah.
I am on the fence with. Okay, so here's my thing. I think it looks great visually. I don't see Fortnite. I just see a very colorful art style, which is fine. But I don't see Fortnite though.
I think that's what people mean when they often say
Yeah,
Fortnite.
and
They
I don't
bothered
like
by the
that.
color combination sometimes.
To me, the Fortnite look is no texture.
Yeah,
You know,
that's how I see it.
yeah, just flat cartoony graphics, and I
Which
don't
this
see
one
that.
doesn't feel flat.
No, it doesn't feel flat at all. It does feel textured to me. Um, it looks good to me. I think it looks very pretty.
Yeah.
Uh, Gameplay, we really only got to see the rogue in action, and it was very actiony. Kind of reminds me of Mass Effect in terms of its gameplay, where you can kind of slow down time and have
Right.
the wheel come up and pick out
Mhm.
abilities and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with that. But I
Mhm.
know a lot of people that are like diehard Dragon Age Origins fans
Right.
wanting more strategic gameplay.
Yeah.
But it doesn't bother me because I love Mass Effect and I didn't play
Yeah.
Dragon Age Origins.
Right.
So I'm on the boat of it looks great to me.
It does look good to me too. I think some people are just getting a little nitpicky, a little worried
Agreed.
they're gonna miss some gameplay aspects, but I think this one could pay off.
And I will say that all they deserve, like BioWare completely deserves the um what's the word that I'm looking for, the skepticism
Hmm.
that people would be giving them, simply because their last two games have been complete misses with Mass Effect Andromeda and Anthem. So they have a
Yeah.
lot to. This is their final shot, right? Um, but it looks good to me. I think people are kind of off the rocker thinking it looks like garbage. I don't understand that at all.
Yeah. I think it looks good.
Yeah, I'm a 4 on this one.
It potentially looks a little like I don't know, like there might be too much space between things. Like Breath in the Wild kind of felt like that to me, where it's
Mm,
just you're going from place to place a lot.
mm,
So I don't think it's going to be as actiony as it looks,
mm.
but
I think people wanted more of an open world, and
yeah,
Mass Effect's not really an open world. It's more of like you can go to these select places, go back to your
right.
base, and do things. But honestly, I'm kind of tired of open world
I
because
don't
when you
need
really
it to be fully open world.
no, you
Like,
don't, and nobody does need it because think
mm-hmm,
about what you do in an open world game, right? 90% of the time, you're traveling
mm-hmm,
from place to place. Yeah, it's cool, and
yeah,
usually it's pretty to look at for the whole time.
mm,
But when you're 90% of what you're doing is traveling, and the traveling is not
yeah.
engaging, then who cares? Skip that and just get to the good parts.
It's like Baldur's Gate's about the amount of open world I want,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and
I mean
that's
that jam packed with
it
features.
keeps you pretty like it keeps you pretty strategically in certain areas too.
Mhm.
Like It's
Oh
not
yeah,
fully open world.
no,
I don't
it's
need
definitely
the
not
full
open world.
choice, but that's about as open world as I want it. If that
Agreed.
makes
Yeah,
sense. Like,
for sure. And
just
this is coming from someone who loves Assassin's Creed, which is again huge maps.
yeah.
But there is a point at which it becomes like there's not enough to do in such
Hmm.
a big open space. So,
Yeah.
so I'm fine with it being more focused.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a 4. What did you rate it? Dragon Age
Dragon Age probably a 4 as well. Yeah,
4. Yep.
I think 4. Yeah.
Yeah, I would be a 5 if it wasn't for BioWare's recent track record. That's the
Yeah.
only reason I can't get to a 5.
Yeah. Can't wait to see
Expedition
more.
33 was the next one. I think there was like a something before that in the name, Claire Obscura,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. I'm not sure what that means, but everyone's calling it
Yeah.
Expedition 33. The
Hmm.
story looks just so cool. For those who
Yeah.
haven't seen it, this world has been dominated by this creature or person named the Paintress.
Hmm.
The Paintress, I think it was called.
Yeah.
The
I think
Paintress?
Painterest.
Pinterest. This sounds right. And I'm not sure how long ago she arrived, but she paints this number up on this tower, and everybody who is that age dies. And so every year they send all of the people of the next age on a quest to try and kill the paintress to prevent her from killing the next generation, basically, essentially. Because obviously, if she gets down to a certain number, no one's going to be able to try and take her down, right?
Yeah.
And so the game all about you being a part of Expedition 33 and the story, and it's a turn-based, classic turn-based RPG, almost reminiscent of Lost Odyssey, if anybody out there remembers that game, where you have like timed button presses to do
Yeah. That's what
damage
it
and
felt like
stuff.
to me.
Looks really cool, visually stunning.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
from a team that I've never heard of, which is always cool because those are usually the ones that will shock you and
Oh,
impress you. Looks
yeah.
phenomenal. I'm in.
I love the creature designs for the
Oh
monsters
yeah,
it showed. That
very
was really
unique.
cool. Yeah. Yeah.
French
I'm
studio
in.
too.
I'm a 5. I want
Yeah,
it.
I would be a 4, just because again they are an unknown studio. They're not proven, and I
Hmm.
don't want to be let down.
That's fair.
So
That's fair.
there's where my expectations are.
Yeah.
But it looks awesome. That might be my game of the show. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next up was Age of Mythology Retold, which is a remake of the Age of Mythology series from way back in the day. Age of Mythology is basically Age of Empires, but with various civilizations, and they all have like magical powers that you can use, and you can summon like your god to actually come down and attack and do stuff like that
Seems
for
like
you.
you choose who to worship, and then based on your worshiping, you gain their aid or whatever.
Yep, and certain powers and very cool.
Yeah.
Crazy that it's being remade. That is not a game I would have predicted Xbox would have been like, hey, we should remake Age of Mythology. But go for it. I'm all for that. Will I play it? Probably not. I suck at RTS games, so
Yeah. That's how I feel. I'll probably get it from my younger sibling because they really like these kinds of games. Strategic city building.
I like the city building aspect. It's when we get into combat where I'm like, yeah, I suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suck.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I can't really give it a hype meter because it's not going to be something I'm going to play. Uh,
I'll give it a 3 just because I'll probably get it, and yeah, my sibling will play it, and he might get me into it.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Next one is Perfect Dark. Finally, the Perfect Dark reboot. This was another one, just like State of Decay, that showed up years ago and then just disappeared. So this was originally being developed by the is it the Coalition? No, that's Gears of War. Who's making? Who's the developer of Perfect Dark? The Initiative? Is that really what their name is? Must be. The Initiative. Yeah, it is. Yeah, the initiative. Okay, sure, why not? So it's a brand new studio, and I guess it wasn't going very well, so they brought in Crystal Dynamics um, to help them. So now it is a co-developed Perfect Dark game between the initiative and Crystal Dynamics. Crystal Dynamics, of course, famous for the Tomb Raider games. So yeah, first gameplay shown looks very cool. Looks very sci-fi, kind of a cross between Hitman and Mirror's Edge.
Right.
Is
Yeah.
kind of what I got from it. Again, though, we're not really sure. Like, I don't know if this is like the original Perfect Dark was level based, right? So you went through each level, and it was
Yeah.
particularly designed and stuff like that. I had a hard time telling if that's what this was, or if it was more of an open world city that you're in. Um, or did you play the new Hitman games, Hitman 1, 2, and 3?
I have not. I watch other people play those.
Yeah, yeah. So like you
Yeah.
basically have like a giant level that's
Yeah.
predetermined everything, right? And so you have to kind of like learn the level.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if maybe it's kind of like that. But
Right.
my guess is that it's probably linear,
Hmm.
probably level based. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if it was open world
Yeah.
with that parkour. Pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm not sure what the real story is. I like the gameplay, but I don't know.
Did you play the original Perfect Dark?
I did not.
Basically, the idea of it is that you're basically like a James Bond type character that is investigating whatever they're investigating, and then as it turns out, there's like an alien conspiracy behind it all,
Mm, okay.
which they kind of teased in the trailer a little bit.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's kind of the gist of it.
Yeah.
The original game wasn't really like groundbreaking for its story or anything like that. It was basically a GoldenEye clone
Yeah.
from the same makers of GoldenEye. So you know,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think it looks cool. I want to see more. I'm a 4 on this one.
Probably more like a two.
Ooh, okay,
Yeah. I don't
gotcha.
know.
Fair enough.
I like there to be a stronger story.
Fair, fair. Next one up was the expansion for Diablo 4. We got um, the cinematic trailer revealed. I have two things to say about this real quick. Number one, I thought that this was that like expansions like this were going to be included with free DLC.
Hmm.
Pretty sure they said that when they launched the game.
I do
Um,
vaguely remember that actually.
yeah, they were
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, like so we're gonna have like smaller updates seasonally, and then we're gonna have one big update every year
Yeah.
that included like new character classes and stuff like that. Now all of a sudden, Vessel of Hatred is like a fifty
Actually,
dollar.
we want money.
Yeah, now it's a
Yeah.
$50 expansion pack, and I'm like, what happened?
Yeah.
So that really pissed me off. Was not happy with that at all. I don't know whether I'm going to buy it now or not because honestly, Diablo 4 for me was kind of, it
Yeah.
was okay. It wasn't amazing to me. It didn't live up to my expectations for Diablo. So that kind of pissed me off. However, the cinematic trailer was sick.
Yeah.
It was insane. It was
Yeah.
really cool.
Diablo cinematics are usually pretty cool.
Any cinematics from Blizzard,
Yeah.
top notch.
Yeah.
Leaders in that department for sure. But yeah, that's all I had to say on Diablo Vessel of Hatred.
Yeah. Just just because I don't like buying DLCs very often, I just give it a generic three. Just maybe if it looks good enough after it's released.
Yeah.
But
Like it gets a straight
yeah.
one for me.
Yeah.
I'm mad. I'm mad that they're
Yeah.
suddenly
That's
charging.
fair.
Yeah. If it was like 20
Change
bucks,
their mind.
yeah, if it was like 20 bucks, maybe I wouldn't be as annoyed. But
Yeah.
it's 50 bucks. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah. Like you're charging for a full game basically. Like
Yeah.
this isn't adding that much,
For
guaranteed.
one character and some new
Yeah.
missions and a new area. No. Sorry, guys. Next up was Fable. So we've seen Fable once before with a really cute um, Giant and the Beanstalk trailer. If you remember the original trailer that came out,
Oh yeah, yeah.
this one was different but very
Hmm.
similar. It still
Yeah.
looks really good to me. I'm getting a little annoyed that we've seen Fable 3 times now and they really haven't shown gameplay yet.
That's true.
Getting a little old, guys. Like, come on.
To be
Um,
fair, though, it is a Fable game. You kind
yeah,
of know what to expect.
that's true. That is true. Um, there
Yeah.
was something else that annoyed me about the Fable thing. I can't remember what it was now, but it is slated for 2025, so that's good. I really hope it's good. I have a lot of faith in the developer, but I really just I don't want to see anything more until we see gameplay.
Yeah.
I need to see gameplay at this point. I know it's probably a third person action adventure, cool, but I need to see something. I need to see
Yeah.
someone play it. You know,
That's fair.
like think about this: the first time we ever saw God of War, the reboot from
Hmm.
2018, they did a I think it was like a 12-minute gameplay demo live on stage.
Yeah.
And we've
Yeah.
seen Fable 3 times now with no direct gameplay.
Yeah.
That just I'm like, no, come
Yeah.
on,
That
guys.
is.
It was disappointing.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm excited for it. I like Fable.
I am too.
It's got engaging story. It puts you in the world, which I always liked about the Fable games.
Although we don't know, so the character that you played in the first 3 Fable games was you, right? It doesn't seem like that's the case this time.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like you played this character, this woman, whoever she is.
Hmm.
Um, Maybe they haven't really.
Maybe.
They haven't said enough.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's always the same woman in the trailer. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you do get to customize your character. Who knows? We'll see.
Hmm.
I have faith in Playground Games. They know what they're doing. I'm like a 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that
I'll,
where
I'll
you are?
say five.
You have 5?
Five.
Yeah.
I'll get it.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh,
And it is another Game Pass Day One game, so I'll play it as well because I get it for
yeah.
free.
Nice.
Love Game Pass.
Mhm.
Um, Next up was Fragpunk, the another 5v5 hero shooter. Ironic, seeing we just saw Concord.
Right.
Funnily enough, I think Fragpunk stands out a lot more than Concord
Oh,
does.
way more. I was
Yeah.
gonna say, like, this is what I mean when they're doing something that seems like Overwatch cloney,
Mhm.
but it stands out on its own because of the gaming gimmick they have with the
Mhm.
cards and
And
your
the visuals, they
impact
look
can
great too.
change. Yeah, and it's just yeah,
Yeah, the
it's doing something significantly different enough.
agreed. Absolutely. Yeah,
Hmm.
the card gimmick of
Hmm.
changing the world, flipping the world. I saw
Hmm.
like big head mode and like
Yeah.
tons of other things. Very
Feels
cool.
like fun, like old PlayStation 1 cheat code
Yeah,
things, games, like just putting it in there.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very interested to know if it's like a hero shooter where each hero has certain cards,
Hmm.
or if you have your own deck that you can make and bring to any
Right.
hero, or like how that works. So
Yeah.
I want to know more, but it looks cool.
Yeah. Does look cool.
I'm 4 on this one. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say a 4. I'm interested for sure. It,
Next,
it does it so much better than Concord. That's all I'm gonna
yeah.
add.
Isn't that crazy? That's so
Yeah.
crazy. I don't know how
They're the
PlayStation can
same
pull that.
concept, but
Yeah, same exact concept, but
hmm.
just shown off way better.
Yeah.
Next game is Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Hmm.
The first person Indiana Jones game from the developers of Wolfenstein.
Hmm.
Um, they showed off a lot for this one.
Yeah.
It still looks the same to me as the last time we saw it. I don't need to see anymore. Like I get it. I get what it
Yeah.
is. It's first person Indiana Jones game. Um, I'm not a fan of the Wolfenstein games, so and I feel like this game has like that same feel to it. So I'm not overly excited about this. I also find it extremely strange that they didn't give a release date for it because it's coming out this year.
Oh yeah.
We're at June and it has no release date, even though it's coming this year. So I don't know whether that means that they are unsure if it's going to make this year, or if they're waiting to see other release dates get picked just so that they can put it in a smart spot. I don't know. It's very
Yeah.
strange. I'm at a 3 for them, just because of my thoughts on and my feelings on the Wolfenstein games.
I'd say a 3. It's just Indiana Jones. There's nothing super unique about it to me.
It could be
Yeah.
good. It could be a first person Uncharted for all I know, which
Right.
could be great.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm not excited about it or anything like that. I do like
Hmm.
Indiana Jones, but
Yeah.
the next one was a huge surprise to a lot of people. Life is Strange Double Exposure. So there's
Hmm.
been a lot of Life is Strange games since the original one. The original Life is
Yeah.
Strange I did
A
play,
lot.
and it was great. It had Max and Chloe. That was like so good, such a good game. And then they did
Yeah.
uh, Life is Strange 2, which
Mhm.
didn't have anything to do with Max and Chloe. I think just two brand new
Yeah.
characters.
I think it was completely
So
different.
I'm not sure why they numbered it like that. And then I think they kind of got that feedback from players where they're like, "Why did you call this 2 if it doesn't include the same characters?" So then the games that they did after that, they named with like a subtitle instead of a
Yeah.
number. It's like, yeah, you probably should have done that with number 2.
Yeah.
I think we had True Colors and like the Adventures
Mhm.
of Captain Spirit and some other
Mhm.
stuff. But this one finally goes back to Chloe,
Mhm.
or no, Max. I think it's Max. Goes back to Max. Chloe doesn't appear to be in it, from what I can tell, which is interesting. Hopefully, they explain that.
They
Um,
should.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because the trailer showed her like saving her friend Sophie, and I'm like, why is she saving Sophie and not Chloe?
Yeah.
That seemed weird to me. So maybe there's a reason for that, and it'll be in the trailer. Um, but yeah, I loved the original Life is Strange, so I'll be picking this one up for sure.
Yeah.
I'm a good 5 on this one.
I'm probably a 3. It's just I've never really played them myself,
Oh,
but
okay.
they're good stories. I do enjoy them.
Have you
I'll
ever
enjoy
played?
watching someone.
So you haven't played any of the Life is Strange games. Have you ever played any of the Telltale developed games like Walking Dead or?
No, not
So
really.
if you like story, you got
Hmm.
to pick those up.
Yeah.
They are phenomenal. Especially I know you're not a zombie or Walking Dead guy, but trust me when I say The Walking Dead season 1 especially. I didn't finish all the seasons honestly, but season 1 is wow. The end. It's just you have to play that game to get to the ending and just pulls on your heartstrings, man. It's
Yeah.
so good. It's so good. Um, Telltale did a lot of good stuff
Yeah. I should
before they
look
went
it up.
out of business.
Right. Sad.
Yeah,
It's probably
trust me.
people like me and our fault. not
That didn't play well. I
not
mean,
picking it
no.
up when they should.
To be fair, it was their fault. They never updated the engine, and the engine is janky. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
why they never did that, I don't know. Cool. Okay, so Life is Strange. I am a day one, so I'm a 5 on that, and you said you were a 3.
Yeah.
Avowed is the next one. So, for those that don't know, Avowed is the first person Skyrim esque game from Obsidian. Now, I say Skyrim esque because it's not like Skyrim. If you've ever played the Outer Worlds, it's more like that. It's more compartmentalized, smaller scale, various areas instead of one
Yeah.
big open world, which is fine with me.
Yeah.
Um,
That's fine.
I was not a fan of the Outer Worlds. I found the gameplay meh.
Mhm.
When you have a shooter, it's got to be a shooter.
Yeah.
Like it's got to be a Call of Duty. It's got to be a Gears of War. It's got to be whatever, right? It's got to be spot
Yeah.
on, and it didn't feel spot on at all to me. It felt sluggish. I didn't like
Yeah.
it. Liked the idea of it, but I didn't like the execution. So we'll see where Avowed, ends up. I do think that it looks better each time I see it.
Yeah.
When I originally saw it, I was like, "Ooh, I
Yeah.
don't know, that's not looking great." But my interest is
Hmm.
rising, rising slowly. What do you think?
Um, I'm not sure honestly, because I like the look of it, but I'm just there's something about it. I don't know.
Year
I'll
two.
probably just
I do agree. There's something off.
Um,
I do
yeah,
agree. I do agree with that. I've always thought something is off with it, but I don't know what it is. But
yeah.
it's hard not to have
It still
faith.
looks good.
Yeah,
It's just there's something about it.
yeah. It's hard not to have faith in Obsidian, though. They
Yeah.
very rarely fail. So
I'm a two. Probably watch some let's play of it. See how I feel.
I'm a three. So I'm not much higher than you.
Yeah.
Um, we'll see. Again,
Yeah.
just because I didn't like Outer Worlds, kind of makes
Yeah.
me think I probably won't like this one. But it's
Mhm.
more fantasy
Yeah.
rather than the Fallout style. So I might like it more. Next is Atom Fall. This was a weird one. This one was it kind of gave off like a. Do you remember Atomic Heart? Came out I don't know, like a year and a half ago, something like that. It was like a game that took place in a futuristic Russia, I think,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
and you were like a robot, or
Yeah.
it was almost like Bioshock esque, kind of in its
Yeah.
design. That's what
I
this
do
one kind of
remember
gives me the
something like
vibes
that.
of. But again, I don't think we had
Yeah.
gameplay. I don't think so. I think
I
we
don't
got
think so.
in-engine stuff.
Yeah.
Um, Need to know more. I can't. There's a developer behind it that is noteworthy though. Let me see. Atom Fall. Who is developing Atom Fall? Rebellion. What did they make? Rebellion. Oh, okay, so yeah, Rebellion. That's right. Okay, so Rebellion made like Sniper Elite
Hmm.
and Zombie Army and what else did they make here? I don't know if you remember Evil Genius. Um, Strange Brigade. Can't even say that word. Um, so they have a kind of an interesting pedigree. This seems like the first time they're going outside of their comfort zone, though, in a long time. Because they've pretty much been stuck on the Sniper Elite series for a long time.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I haven't seen enough, so I'm not even going to put it on my hype meter because I haven't seen enough.
Yeah. That's kind of how I'm feeling. I don't know how to rank it.
Yeah,
It's
agreed, sir.
it's interested me enough to think about it.
Yeah, to
That's
watch
about
for
it.
it again.
Yeah.
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 We only have a few left. Stalker 2. I never played the original Stalker, so I don't really have like the pedigree to know why this game is so anticipated. It kind of looks like Metro to me, just with RPG mechanics.
Yeah.
Could be good. I don't know. I don't know enough about the series. I
I
do
just don't
remember.
actually play a lot of first person, so
Yeah,
unless they're high RPGs,
yeah,
which I don't know, this one I just never played.
yeah. And I think Stalker 1 is pretty old
Yeah.
as well. And I remember it being very buggy when it first came out too, so that doesn't give me a whole lot of hope either. Although I will say that this game is being made by a Ukrainian team, and it's been taking as long as it has because of the war over there. They're just basically trying to stay safe,
Yeah.
throughout all this. So I get it. Good on them for continuing to make this game in that kind of environment. That's crazy. Um, so yeah, it's for me. It's a wait and see. So it's like a 3.
Yeah, I'd say three. I'm interested. It looks good.
Next up is Gears of War E-Day. This was Xbox's big, one last thing announcement in their Xbox showcase. Most of us were expecting Gears of War 6 or Gears 6 because the new trilogy hadn't been ended yet. But instead, we're getting a prequel to all of the Gears games featuring Marcus Phoenix again.
Uh-huh.
where it takes place on the day, Emergence Day, where all the locusts originally came out of the ground, which is a really cool concept. And this will be the first game, I assume, in Unreal Engine 5 for the Gears team. So it's probably going to look insanely gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
But we didn't really get anything other than a trailer, like a cinematic trailer. It did say in engine footage, which it looks great. It's hard to really tell between an in-engine and cinematic anymore because graphics have gotten so good.
It's so good.
But it looks great. But again, didn't get a release date, didn't get anything teased beyond that. But cool, more Gears. I'm down with that. I loved Gears 5. Was really looking forward to Gears 6. So this is kind of it's a letdown, but it's also like really cool that we're gonna see like what happened on E-Day. So we'll see. But I just want to see how visually insane this game is gonna look. That's what I really want to see. Like,
yeah,
man. So I'm a 4. I like the Gears series, so I'm a 4.
I'm a 3. I haven't played a lot of Gears games, but I'll probably definitely be watching Let's Plays. It looks great.
Yeah.
Just don't know if I'll play it myself.
Fair. I actually really like the story in it. It's got some emotion to it, shockingly, even though it's a bro shooter.
Yeah.
It's got emotionally charged moments in it, especially the end of 3. Wow.
Yeah.
That was a crazy, crazy ending. So that's Gears of War E-Day. The next one is Ubisoft's games, Star Wars Outlaws. So we got a really good gameplay demo of this game. I don't need to see any more. I'm a 5 on this one. Take my money. I'm good.
Yeah. I mean, a good Star Wars game. Isn't that what we all want?
We just want a good Star Wars game.
I want to wield a lightsaber.
Yeah, except in this one, you're not a Jedi. This one finally you get to play as a Han Solo type character.
Yeah, Han Solo.
With that little creature that she has. Looks great. Open world, travel to different planets.
Yeah,
ship combat.
Feels like you're fully just in the world for sure.
It's just existing in the Star Wars world. I know it's going to be a great game. Great time. Yeah, it looked great. I
might be a 5. I want to see all the different alien art and different creatures.
It's basically Assassin's Creed Star Wars edition.
Yeah,
it's the way it felt to me. So I'm on board. Let's go. So that's
looks super fun.
Next up was Assassin's Creed Shadows. So this is the Japan one. I think we talked about it briefly.
I think we did. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, it looks like more Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed's fun.
Cool. Yeah,
I might want to try this one. I mean, it looks cool.
Yeah, I was hoping for a little bit more of an evolution, but maybe we still will get that. But really all they showed off was combat, pretty much. Yeah, stealth and combat. So we'll see. We didn't do a hype meter for that though. Mine is a 4.
Yeah. Yeah, probably 4. Really like it.
And then finally, we have the 3 Nintendo games that came out of the Nintendo Direct. First off, we have Mario and Luigi Brothership. That came out of nowhere. No one saw that game coming. It was like, wait,
it's like
what?
Mario RPGs coming back.
Yeah. So that I'm glad you brought that up. That means there's 3 Mario RPGs this year.
Yeah.
We got Super Mario RPG. We got Paper Mario: 1,000-Year Door. And Mario and Luigi Brothership. That's crazy.
The Paper Mario stuff I never got into that much, but
if you're
I do like Mario RPG.
if you're ever going to play a Paper Mario game, that one is the one to play. The 1,000-Year Door. Yeah. It's the best one. This game, I've never played any of the Mario and Luigi series games, but I'm going to play this one. This one looks really
I'll
cool.
play this one for sure.
Yeah. And the art style looks crazy cool.
Oh, yeah.
It looks so good. It's like cartoonish. But actually cartoonish.
Yeah.
Like Bugs Bunny-esque, where they're like their body stretches when they're like
true cartoon, like you just play in what you picture Mario and Luigi in cartoon.
Yeah. It's like great. It looks great. Yeah. Out of nowhere too. I love when games do that.
Yeah, and it comes out this year. 5 for me. I'm getting it. I want
I'm gonna
it.
say 4 just because I've never played the Mario and Luigi series.
Yeah,
But it looks fantastic.
yeah.
I'm excited to try that out. And again, this comes out this year, which is great.
Hmm.
Next up was another out of nowhere one. We have another 2D Zelda game called Echoes of Wisdom. Except you don't play Link for the first
Yeah, you
time
play
in
as
the history of
you
Zelda.
actually play as Zelda,
You play as Zelda.
the
That's
title
crazy.
game character.
Yeah. Um, looks very cute. It's got that
And
same.
everyone's gonna think she's Link now. It's just
Yeah,
problems just escalating.
exactly. You're just making it worse. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You don't play Zelda in Zelda? Well, you do in one game,
Yeah,
but not none of the other ones, though. Um, yeah, this one looks really cute. It's got that
does.
adorable Link Between Worlds,
Yeah,
Link's Awakening remake
Blink.
art
Yeah,
style,
Blink. I got Awakening, and I love that, and I love the art style. So this
Mhm.
one, it was just more of this art style is great.
And it's kind of got like a Tears of the Kingdom vibe where you can
Mm,
create items to help you navigate the world
yeah,
and stuff like that. That looks really cool.
which is super.
Um, you can even like replicate bad guys and like use them
Oh, yeah,
as that's how you can attack people. You can take an
yeah.
enemy and then spawn them to do your
Yeah.
bidding.
Zelda seems like she's going to be a lot more strategic than
Yes,
even Link was. So
I'm trying to
that's
picture boss fights in this game.
right.
Like how are they gonna work? They could be
Uh,
so cool.
is there going to be like Plants vs Zombies esque bosses too? Where, like, she's just putting down like.
Oh man, there's so many possibilities. Yeah, that game looks really cool. And again, that comes out this year too. Crazy.
That is crazy.
Um, yeah, I'm a 5 on that one.
Yeah, 5. It just looks fun.
Looks
You
so
can't
good.
say no to Zelda.
Can't say no to Nintendo, man. They
Yeah,
know what they're doing.
honestly.
And then finally, to close out Summer Games Fest, we have finally seen Metroid Prime 4, now subtitled Echoes, coming out in 2025. Looks like Metroid Prime. Looks good.
Yeah,
Um, my theory on this one, since they're saying 2025, is that it will be a cross-gen game and a launch title for the Switch too.
yeah, probably.
Since they're not giving a release date, it makes sense that they're gonna launch it on Switch and as a launch title on Switch too, where you get like premium features and like better
Right.
resolution and all that kind of
That
stuff.
makes sense.
Or it is slightly possible, although I don't think so. It is slightly possible that it is an exclusive to Switch 2. Because it did
Yeah,
look visually pretty damn good.
yeah, it did.
But maybe we're just seeing Switch 2 footage. Apparently, the Switch 2 has been like it's been made for like a couple of years, and they're just waiting for the perfect time to release it. Apparently, they have it; it's done.
They're just sitting on it, waiting.
Yeah. Apparently,
Only Nintendo can do that.
yeah.
I just have something ready. Like, well, we'll hold off for now.
Well, they don't even need to. They don't need to sell another
We'll update it
console.
later.
The Switch is still selling. So what do
Yeah,
they care? Mario Kart 8 still sells a billion copies a week.
right.
They don't care.
Mm,
So yeah, I'm a 5 on that one.
yeah,
I love Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3. I think 3 does not get enough credit. I think 3 is amazing.
yeah. Probably a 4. Looks good. Probably get it eventually, but there's so many games I
Oh
need to
man,
play.
yeah.
So many
My
games.
backlog is disgusting. We're actually going to talk about that on episode 3
Yeah.
about backlogs
Oh yeah.
and the release calendar. So we'll talk about that. So that is Summer Games Fest. That is our topic of the week. Was there any other games that you can think of that you wanted to mention from Summer Games Fest or Xbox's game studios? Oh, we never mentioned South of Midnight. I'm not sure why it's not on the list. South of Midnight is from Compulsion Games. Um, Maybe I didn't include it on the list because we talked about it already. But it's the one with the really cool art style where you're the girl and you're like riding a fish, like a fish whale creature,
Oh yeah.
and she floats on this like magic tarp kind of thing that she's got. That looked phenomenal too.
Yeah.
Um, However, I'm not gonna be at a 5 on that one. I'm gonna be a 4 on that one because the developer is the We Happy Few guys, and that game
Oh
looks
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
amazing.
right. Yeah, we did talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, probably a 4. I mean, it looked cool.
Yeah,
Like, I want to see more.
absolutely.
Mm,
All right, so before we close out the show, we got a few pieces of news to get through. The first of which is a correction from last week. Last week I said that Blue Point was working on a remake. That is
mhm.
not true. They are apparently working on an original game. Now, I looked at the wording of this article, and it doesn't say an original new IP. It just says an original game. So I'm wondering if that actually means that they're not working on a remake, but a sequel to a game that's already out. So,
Oh,
like Bloodborne 2
yeah.
or something along those lines. You know what I mean? Because it's weird that they wrote it that way. Like the developer specifically said it's an original game, not an original new IP. So I was like, I might be reading into it a little bit too much, but
Yeah,
I'm
it's
wondering if PlayStation gave them something and was like, "Here,
yeah,
do something with this." It's not doing anything right now. So but I'm
that could
interested in
be
seeing that.
interesting. Yeah.
But apparently, it's not a remake. Um, Next up, PlayStation VR 2 investment has reportedly been cut. Not surprisingly, we talked about how dead that platform is last week. They do, however, apparently, according to the report, have two. I think they said it was either two first party or two second party titles being developed for the PSVR 2. So there is still two exclusives coming. We don't know what they are, but they're apparently in development. And I'm wondering if one of those is from Firesprite, the ones that worked on Call of the Mountain that we talked about last week.
Yeah.
Makes sense for them to for their next game to be a VR2 title as well. So that's probably one of them. What the other one is, I have no idea. But we'll see. And then finally, this one is very interesting. PlayStation revealed its financial report for 2023, and it has some pretty interesting stuff in it. I went through it, and I haven't shown you this yet because I have it in like a different document here. Um, I'll post it in our Discord, the images as I talk about them, so you can kind of see them. So the first one I thought was interesting. It was basically a presentation. It was basically like a PNG file of the presentation that they gave.
I
And they
see.
talked about a whole bunch of stuff. So the first one was interesting. They talked about the sales numbers for all of their consoles. The PlayStation 1, the original PlayStation, sold $24 billion worth in sales. The PS2 sold $44 billion in sales. The PS3 sold 71 billion. The PS4 jumped to 107 billion. And strangely, the PlayStation 5 is already at 106 billion, and we're basically halfway through the generation. So
Yeah.
theoretically, the PS5 is going to double the sales of the PlayStation 4, which is insane.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is insane.
Um, yeah,
Wow.
so clearly PlayStation 5 is just killing it right now. Just killing
Oh
it.
yeah.
Um,
Wow.
yeah, thought that was pretty crazy. This next image here I'm going to send you, I thought was pretty funny actually. So this is their operating income each generation. So during the PlayStation 1 era, they had around $3 billion in operating income. In the PlayStation 2 era, they had 2 billion, so it went down for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why it went down. But then you can see this absolutely massive drop in the PlayStation
Yes.
3 era, which is at the very beginning of the PlayStation 3 era, which is when the infamous $599 US. $599 US. Where PlayStation 3 just got shat out the friggin' trash bag, and Sony just so screwed that up so bad.
That
And
is
people were
rough.
like, "I'm not paying six
Yeah,
hundred US for this thing. Are you kidding me?"
fucking
Um,
crazy.
but you can see on that chart they made their way back up to a
Yeah,
$4 billion operating
yeah.
income. PS4 made its
We're in
way up
the
when
negative for a while
yeah,
though.
it took them basically the whole generation to dig themselves out of that hole,
Yeah,
man. That was a bad bet.
yeah.
The PS4 generation worked its way up to a $9 billion operating
Mm.
income, and PlayStation 5 is
Back on
currently
that upscale, which
yeah,
is
oh yeah,
good.
just PS4 went on fire, man.
Uh,
And then PS5 is sitting at $10 billion operating income, which is
yeah,
crazy. That's a lot of money to
it is.
make your games with.
Yeah.
What's this next one here? I don't need to show you this one. This one's pretty simple, but um, they tracked the amount of money that each individual customer on average spent on additional things for the console. So how much money people spent on peripherals like extra controllers, PlayStation Plus, DLC, that kind of stuff. So on average, the average user spent $580, extra on those kind of services and content on PS4. On PS5, only halfway through the generation, the average is 731. So up 26%, and it's not even halfway through the generation yet. Pretty crazy. And in the middle of a really bad economy, I should
Right.
add as well. Um,
That's the thing, though. A lot of people are escaping from the realities with their
with
video games
games.
right now. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
And then COVID probably helped with those sales quite a bit.
Yeah, you're probably right actually because the PS5 came out in 2020. You're probably
Yeah.
right. That's good call on that one. Never even
Mm,
thought about that. Um, they also revealed that 35% of their PlayStation uh, Plus members, so for those that don't know, PlayStation Plus is what you require to be able to play online on PlayStation, and you also there's three different tiers. So the first tier you get 3 free games a month. The
mhm.
extra tier you get access to their PS4 and PS5 catalog of games. It's kind of like Game Pass. And then the premium gets you that plus access to their PS1 classics, their PS2 classics, and a bunch of other perks and game
Yeah.
trials and stuff like that. So they revealed that 35% of their PlayStation Plus members have an extra or premium tier, which is pretty high. That's pretty huge. Um, you
A
know,
lot of people are getting back into their classics.
yeah, a lot of people like the Game Pass, and there's actually more premium members than there are extra members.
Hmm.
So you're right, they do like the access to the classics.
I think what helped that is probably the God of War games. People have been going back to play
I
the
don't even
original
know what's on the
games.
classics because I don't have premium. I have
Yeah.
extra.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I have to assume. I also think a lot of people like the game trials that are on the
Hmm.
premium because you can play certain games for like an hour or two
Oh
hours
yeah.
and be like, should I buy this? Like they're basically demos. Like what
Yeah.
happened to demos, man?
Yeah.
I remember when there was a
Some of
demo
those
for every game.
demos too, there's not a cap of how far you can get, it's length of time too. So it's
Yeah, it's
like,
just like you can play this game until an hour passes, and then we're gonna cut you
yeah.
off. It's cool.
Hmm.
It's a good idea. Um, let's see what else. What other cool stuff was in here? Okay, so I thought this was interesting. This one I'll send you a picture of. There you go. So I thought this was interesting. So this was basically a group shot of what they're calling their active franchises. Um, so there's 3 in here that stand out as like a wait active franchises. And so if we look through them, Last of Us is not really active.
Yeah,
So is that confirmation right there that part 3 is in development?
right. They're working on it.
Gotta be, right?
Yeah,
Um, Horizon, we know that they're working on Horizon 3 and a bunch of other Horizon games. God of War, Ragnarok just came out. Destiny is active. Spider Man, well, we know that there's tons of those games being made. Ghost of Tsushima is not really active, so I think that's pretty good confirmation that a sequel's coming for that.
more of that
Gran
stuff.
Turismo, we know is active. The show, we know is active. Helldivers 2, we know is active. The big one, though, Uncharted is on there.
Uncharted.
We
Yeah.
have not seen an Uncharted game since The Lost Legacy, which was like 4 years
How
ago,
long?
at least.
Yeah.
I went. Let me look up when that
Yeah,
was.
because the last time I was hearing about Uncharted was, I think, 2020.
Last Legacy came out 2017.
Oh, wow.
So why is that listed as an active franchise?
Yeah.
And don't and the people, there's going to be people out there that are going to be like, it's because they're making movies of Uncharted. They have Uncharted 1 and then they're making Uncharted 2 the movie. I don't buy that. This is the games section of the presentation. I don't buy that. So I'm thinking that Naughty Dog has 2 games in development, an Uncharted game and a Last of Us game. That's my theory. But I found it very interesting that that was in there
Yeah.
because that stands out.
Unless they are counting the movie. But
Yeah, but this is the games presentation of the
it's the
Sony.
games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
games present. So this is from Sony's financial report, and this is the games section of that report. So I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
Um, they also revealed that Spider-Man 2 has sold over 11 million copies. Helldivers 2 has sold over 12 million copies. So Helldivers 2 has sold more than Spider-Man.
That's
Huge.
crazy to me.
That's insane. Yeah. And this is old. This is old information too. This is from uh April, I want to say. So those are probably much higher now.
Yeah.
What else we got? Oh, the final thing was that their operating income in 2021 was um, 3.1 billion. In 2022, it dropped to 1.8 billion, and it's in 2023 it was 2 billion. So that tells me they're spending a lot of money on something.
Yeah.
Especially that drop from 3.1 to 1.8 billion.
Oh, yeah.
What did they spend that money on? They're doing something
Yeah.
big. I
Something's
don't know whether
coming.
that's just like um, I don't. That may have been an investment in PlayStation Portal. Maybe that seems like a lot of money to spend on a peripheral, though.
Yeah.
So I don't know what. I'm very curious why that huge drop in 2021 occurred. Very interested.
Yeah. That's curious.
Mhm. So that's it for the PlayStation report. I thought some of that was kind of interesting, to say the
Yeah.
least. So
Gets
go
you
back.
thinking.
Yeah. I don't have a worst game title of the week. Let's see. That is our the way that we shut out these shows is the worst game title of the week.
The worst.
Let's see. Games that came out in the last month. Let's see.
Oh, I did want to ask you what, out of all the games we've gone over, what are you looking forward to like the most about all of them?
From Summer Games Fest.
Yeah.
Let me just look at that list real quick right here. I mean, Dragon Age is up there because I love Dragon Age Inquisition.
Yeah.
Um, I also really want to play Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah.
But I think what I like to pick for this type of question is something that's new and unknown.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to stick with Expedition 33. I really want that game to be good.
Yeah.
Um, it's such a cool concept. I love turn-based RPGs.
Hmm.
It's from a French studio that's completely out of
Yeah.
left field. I want that game to be really good. So
It does look really good.
I'm zoned in on that game right now. I really want to see
Yeah.
more of that.
That's fair.
Um,
Yeah.
let's see.
Yeah, I think my main focus one honestly might be Wonder Stop, just because I do like the visuals
Yeah.
and I want to know more about that twist.
Right?
How dark does it go? I'm I don't know. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, and the Stanley Parable is so cool.
Yeah.
It got you thinking in so many cool ways. I agree. Um, I'm gonna say I don't have a funny game title of the week just because I didn't have one prepared, and I'm not gonna bring up the Switch store just to find that. So,
Yeah.
do you have anything else you want to add before we wrap it up?
No.
You're good to go.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So this has been episode 2 of Press Pause, a gaming podcast. I am TJ Leo. You can reach me at TJ underscore the underscore Leo on Twitter /X, whatever you would like to call it these days. You are Bailstorm. Where can people reach
Yes.
you?
Uh, Twitter, just at Bailstorm.
You can
I
find
think
links in the
it's
description.
yeah.
And as always, we'll be back next week with a new show. And thank you for listening. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we are out.